Hello, 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 everyone. It is your girl, your diva knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Cafe de Paris. What's good? Hello. I know it's been a while since y'all have seen me, so I said, you know what? Today I'm not going to hide behind the avatar. Let me allow my subscribers to see me up close and personal. Know it's been a minute. God is still keeping me. I'm grateful. I'm still, fighting to keep my head above water, but for the most part, I'm doing awesome. I'm hanging in there. I hope everybody's Friday is going good. I hope this weekend you get to chill, you get to kick back, you get to relax. Want to thank everybody for being able to come in this evening and this afternoon actually and chat with me. What's up, Simply Deep, Darnell, and this is Met D. How is everybody doing? I thought it was very imperative that I did this content today because this is an ongoing issue. Thanks, Matt B, for asking about the academy. I actually was struggling with my firearms. So they temporarily, I would say, suspended me just to give me time to work on that, and I could come back and finish up in May with the police academy. So yeah, that's an area that I'm struggling in. So they're giving me some time. So I'm glad they're giving me time versus just completely throwing me out. So yeah, I'm still kind of struggling with my sight alignment a little bit. Shooting from the 25. That's my area of weakness. So yeah, that's one of the things that's kind of tripping me up right now. But I appreciate you for asking. Thank you so much. What's up, T193U? So yeah, they I guess they felt like I was struggling with the 45. So they gave me a 9 millimeter. So the recoil um impact is not as intense, and plus the grip is smaller because I got small hands and stuff. So they're trying to work with me, but yeah, it's a little bit of a struggle, but I'm not giving up just yet. So yeah, but thanks for asking. But yeah, I'm doing a lot of jerking. um when it comes to my trigger pull, I haven't been pulling slowly enough. I've been snatching, and when I snatch, it makes my bullets go a little further to the left. So that's the area I'm kind of struggling. That trigger pull, that is what's getting me. I snatch too much because I'm always anticipating the bullets. So yeah, that is one of my areas. Yeah, but Darnell, if I keep going the way I'm going, I'm not gonna be no cop. I'm gonna be working at Zaxby's somewhere. What's up, freelance? Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's easier said than done. And then the thing about it is they got us on a time frame. So from the 25, I have I think like 6 seconds to get two shots in, one on my left and one on my right. No, it's actually 12 seconds. The first 6 seconds, I got to get one on my left and one on my right. Then again, I got to get another one on my left and my right. So from the 25, if I could at least get in two, that'll save me a good bit when I get closer and closer, because we have to qualify with a 240. So hitting in the middle is like 10 points. Anything outside of that is like 8. So the most bullets that I can get in that mass front center, the better off I am. But like I said, it's easier said than done. It's definitely a challenge. I tell you one thing, I'm gonna have so much more respect for law enforcement because the stuff that they got to go through, I promise you. You are not just handed a gun and a badge and just told, okay, go out there in the streets. It is a lot. It is a lot physically. It is a lot mentally. It is a lot. They are not playing, because I think what's going on with a lot of police departments is too many um, officers that are making choices that's becoming a liability to the department. So what's starting to happen is they're tightening up. They're not just letting anybody come in and just get a gun and a badge. You got to prove yourself. Not only you got to prove that you're physically fit, you have to prove that you can follow the policies and the procedures, that you know the laws. You got to be very familiar with the laws, because there's too many officers that are not um being really keeping up with the laws and keeping up keeping up with the policies and the procedures. And every time that happens, it becomes a liability for the whole department. So trust and believe they are not playing with anybody. They got to make sure you're mentally capable. They don't want nobody crazy, somebody who don't have them all coming up in there. So I have much respect for law enforcement after this. But yeah, if I don't work on it, if I don't get better at my shooting, y'all, I'm gonna be working at Dunkin' Donuts somewhere. So pray for my strength in the Lord that I get through it. Yes. It's definitely, yeah, it's definitely a not. Who is Angie Dickinson freelance? It is. I was for 5 years. Okay, Matt B. And see, a lot has changed, and is making it harder and harder now, because now most officers, you have to be post certified before you get in. You have to be post certified, which means you have to go through the police academy. And the police academy, you have to know how to drive, that driver's course. You have to know how to shoot. You have to know how to academically pass tests. You have a lot of written tests that you have to pass. Absolutely. So if anybody who thinks you don't have to be educated, you don't have to have some type of academic knowledge coming into the police academy, you're going to be sadly disappointed, because a lot of that is expected. If you don't have any degrees, you don't have any type of educational foundation, you're definitely going to struggle within the police academy. So I promise you, it is not easy at all. But I'm trying to give it my all, 100%. It is not a cakewalk. I promise you, the first week I want to quit. They have you running a mile and a half, sit-ups, push-up, flutter kicks. Oh my, I'm telling y'all, it is no joke. No joke whatsoever. What's up, Dangerous Television? What's up, Dion? Appreciate you. But yeah, but for anybody who's asking me about the academy, yeah, I'm still struggling. I got until May to try to work on my shooting a little bit more. So if I progress in that, I will continue. I will proceed on. So other than that, just pray for me. God knows what's best. If it doesn't work out, I know God has other plans, so it is what it is. But I hate when these ads pop up. It's a pain in the ass. Anyhow, yes, I thought it was very imperative, y'all, that I did this content this afternoon, basically about single mothers, basically are the most targeted when it comes to sexual predators. What's up, Frito OG? Oh, police. Oh, yeah. I watched that. And you know what? Believe it or not, the Academy strayed us to stay away from watching any law enforcement shows. They was very adamant on us about that. They did not want us watching any police shows, because a lot of stuff that happens on those shows, even though the majority of it is real, but like they stated, they don't show everything, so they wanted us to stray away from that, because watching shows like that, especially when you're going into the academy, it has a way of kind of twisting your mind, and they didn't want us being manipulated by things that we see on TV as far as law enforcement. They didn't want us watching any type of law enforcement movies, because some of that stuff is scripted, and a lot of stuff that you see these officers and these detectives do on these shows, y'all see them do. The only ones that are kind of legit is like Live PD, and shows like that. But when it comes to these, what shows can I think of? Like Law and Order, all of these like cop shows, a lot of that stuff, it don't show the real deal, because a lot of stuff they do, if you was to do that in real life, you would lose your job, you would get terminated, you would be in violation. What's up, Frito? Thank you so much for the $10 donation. I'm very, very grateful. Thank you. Yeah, so what's up, Jeremy? Good to see you. So yeah, so in the police academy, we was not allowed to watch cop shows. They didn't want us watching that stuff, because like I said, once you go into law enforcement, you will see the stuff they do on TV. Now, when I watch these cop shows, I be like, wait a minute, you can't do that. No. You violated this procedure. You violated that procedure. When you know the real deal and you know what you can do and what you can't do, them shows, you don't take them to heart, because a lot of the stuff they're doing on these cop movies and these cop shows, you can't do that. Like when you see these detectives slamming and throwing people up against the wall and get them to confess, you cannot do that stuff. You cannot. So yeah, it's just changed my whole perspective on it. But yeah, but I thank you to everyone who was asking me how I'm doing in the police academy. Yeah, so I thought it was imperative, y'all, that I did this content today. There was this video that went viral. I'm gonna see if I can. I know I won't be able to share the actual video because I'm always having sound issues. But there's basically this gentleman, this video. Well, I won't even call him this a gentleman. This sexual predator. His name is. Let me make sure I get his name correct. Because I forgot his name. He goes by the name of Darnell. This situation occurred, and let me see what it is. I think it was, yeah, in Memphis, Tennessee. This sexual predator by the name of Darnell Morgan. This video went viral, and basically, just one moment, y'all. Let me. Okie dokie. I'm sorry about that. Had a call. Let me see. Why's my camera tripping? So you can't be doing that crazy laughing while I'm in the middle of doing this because they could catch everything in the back. Okay, yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that. There was this video that went viral of this guy by the name of Darnell Morgan. Yeah, that's his name, Morgan. I'm going to share the screen right now. Basically, there was a video of him going viral with him touching his ex's daughter inappropriately. He was picking her up from work. And from the looks of it, what ended up happening was this was something that the 17-year-old had been experiencing for quite some time. And in order for them to prove it, the mother basically told the daughter to record the video of him touching her inappropriately. And basically that's what happened. The 17-year-old, she recorded the video of this guy touching on her, and she's sitting on the passenger side. And her mom's ex-boyfriend, he basically he's driving, and while he's driving, he has one hand on the steering wheel and the other hand he's roping this young lady between her legs, making all kind of inappropriate comments to her. It was very cringing. It was very uncomfortable. I definitely give the girl a lot of props for having long time no see. I was thinking about you. I remember your name, baby. You popped up. Oh, what's up, Epic 7? Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. What's up, Katrina? Good to see you. Happy Friday. And yeah, y'all, he's driving, and while he's driving, the 17-year-old, this is his ex's daughter. I don't know why the daughter was still affiliated with the man, being that he was an ex of her mother, but whatever the case was, the video went viral. Okay, and I give this 17-year-old, I have to give her a lot of props for being so brave and willing to humiliate herself just to get this dude caught on camera. Because when it comes to situations like this, y'all, it is your word against theirs. I'm going to share the screen and I'm going to show you the gentleman. I won't show the video because I know the sound is not going to show up. I mean, the sound is not going to come out inappropriately. It's not going to, you're not going to be able to hear it. So I'm going to just show you the mugshot of this guy so y'all can see who he is. And basically the video went viral. It got really, really big, to the point to where law enforcement, of course, got a hold of it. And as you can see, they ended up arresting him for it, which I'm glad that they did, because when it comes to these Chesters, they don't need to be put out there. Okay, I'm gonna try to share it again. These Chesters, they do need to be caught. They do need to be exposed. So I'm glad that he was exposed. If you put his name in on YouTube, I'm sure somebody has a video of him where you can kind of see the way he was groping this young lady, and it was definitely inappropriate. And basically, the young lady and the mother, they had to allow him to do it again just so they can catch it on video and have it put out there so that all the local authorities could get him for it. And that's what happened. So basically, he's been arrested. And I don't know why my computer is moving so slow. I'm trying to share it with y'all so y'all can see him while it's loading. I'll continue with my story. So basically, they dug into this dude's history and come to find out he's been known to do that. He has done this before with other young ladies in the past that are underage, and a couple of them have come out. What's up, Trax Lanston? Appreciate you for coming in. And basically now all the cats are being let out in the bag. This dude definitely has a problem. He's a straight chester. He has a thing for young women. He likes children. He likes young girls. And it's nothing to me more sick than seeing a grown man who feels like he can only get his rocks off by touching, females underage that are young, that are not of age. I just think it's very sick. It's definitely some psychological problems with men who have this type of behavior, who have these type of issues. So again, after really looking into the situation, it made me realize that there are so many women, especially the single mothers, that are constantly putting themselves in these situations to where uh they meet these men, they date these guys, and after a few dates, they get so comfortable with these men to the point to where they allow these men to actually move into their household with them and their children. They allow these men to be so comfortable with their children to the point to where they're allowing these men to pick their kids up from school, to pick their daughters up from work. And I noticed that it's the majority of single mothers that are getting themselves in a situation. They are the most prime candidates when it comes to being targeted by these sexual predators, because these sexual predators, they love children. They love kids. They love to have sex with children underage, because the majority of them are psychologically damaged. And these type of men, these type of guys, to me personally, I think a lot of them suffer from low self-esteem, because anytime a guy has to, a grown man has to resort to dealing with a young girl, that already lets you know he has some low self-esteem issues, because it should never get to the point to where you have to tamper with a child. You have to get involved with a child. Anytime a grown man has to resort to that level, he has to stoop to that level, you are a man that has a lot of self-esteem. Not You have low self-esteem. Not only do you have low self-esteem, you are psychologically damaged, because something is wrong with your psyche to feel comfortable with getting sexually involved, you're sexually engaging with a child, with a girl. It's something that speaks volumes. It speaks that you have a lot of psychological damage for you to even stoop to that level. Um, yeah, and that's exactly the point, Frito. That's just why I'm basically, doing this content, because it's the single women that are being targeted. It is these single women that are so comfortable with these men being around their daughters, being around their sons, because even if you have a son, you have to be careful. It's these women that are doing it. It's these single moms that are getting manipulated, that are getting bamboozled into getting comfortable with these men. And what a lot of these women are not understanding is a sexual predator don't have to look like a sexual predator. A sexual predator is not just some creepy old man, that looks weird, that looks like he's just been released out the institutional at the nut house or the insane asylum. It does not have to be a guy that looks creepy. You have a lot of sexual predators out there that are nice looking men, that are very nice looking. You got some sexual predators that got good jobs. They're not just, like I said, creepy old men who are homeless in the street. Some of them got top executive jobs. Some of them are lawyers. Some of them are doctors. Hell, some of them even work in these doggone churches. And these women are not particularly attractive Okay, all right. Let me know if all of y'all can see me. I don't know what was going on, but y'all know how this technology thing is. Okay, yeah, looks like I'm back on. Yeah, as Frito was saying, and I speak on this all the time. Yep, yeah, looks like I'm back. Yeah, as Frito was saying, I speak on this all of the time. It's unfortunate that you have some women, they are so excited. They get you have some women, not all women do this, but you have some women, when they finally get a man in their life, all of their common sense goes out the door. All of it. They will move a man in their house right away before even, doing research on him, before checking his criminal history, before meeting his family, before meeting his baby mamas. You have a lot of women that the moment, not all women, if it does not apply, you don't have to reply. But you have some women, the moment a man smiles in their face, all common sense goes out the door. Okay. And the reason I state that single women are the ones that are more prone to getting sexual predators, um, to basically manipulate them, because it is not the married women. Evidently, if the woman is married, she's with a husband or she's with her companion. So she really doesn't have this problem. And it's not the single women who don't have children, because, of course, if she doesn't have any children, there's nobody else's safety being jeopardized. But you single women, you single moms, you have to be very, very careful. Okay, that you allow all kind of men into your home and around your children. You do not need to allow your children to get attached to these men if you really don't know their history. Because let me tell y'all something. Predators are very cunning. Predators are very intelligent. Predators are very nice. There's not too many mean predators. Okay, so for this woman to have been comfortable with allowing this man to be around her children, then somewhere he had her deceived. Because I'm sure if she knew up front this man was a creep, this man was a molester, if she saw it right up front, 9 times out of 10, she probably wouldn't have been comfortable with him being around her daughter. But what do you like? A lot of you women are not understanding is all predators are not creepy. He can be 6'7". I mean, just handsome, look good, well dressed, well groomed, make good money. That don't mean nothing. A predator, you cannot put a predator in a group, ladies. You cannot tell what a predator looks like. You can't. Because predators are everywhere, y'all. Predators in the church, some predators in the family. Everybody knows that one uncle or that one grandfather who had a history of touching the women within the family. This is something that's so common, and y'all have to be so careful. I don't care how good looking the man is, y'all. Ladies, you have to use better judgment. You have to use discretion. All right. You have to pay attention to the little things. And the thing about it is, a lot of these women, they see all kind of signs that the dude that's they're involved with, he shows all the signs of having sexual predator tendencies. And if you are thirsty, and if you are gullible, or if you so badly you're desperate, you're gonna fall prey to it. You and your children are going to become victims of one of these sexual predators if you are thirsty, if you are desperate, and if you are gullible. It's going to happen. What's up, Art? What's up, Anthony? Appreciate you. I had some technical difficulties earlier, y'all. So thank you for still hanging in there and coming back. These started single black women. Yeah, I mean, it's just you have to be really careful. Ladies, just because a man is smiling in your face, just because he's nice to your kids, that don't mean he's not a sexual predator. Yeah, they don't, Anthony. It's about DNA. It's about DNA, and they pay for it every time, because once your child has experienced that type of trauma, their life would never be the same. They would never be the same. Once a child has experienced being molested, even though this young lady, as I stated with this guy, and I'm gonna show his thing to y'all now that my computer is acting decent, because that's the reason I'm doing this content on this man. And if they did not expose this guy, let me tell you something, y'all. This dude, oh, you know what, I have to pull up the damn thing. I forgot to pull up the damn thing. Let me pull up the thing first before I share the screen with y'all. The sad part is, if they did not expose this man, he would have kept doing it. He would have got with another desperate chick, and it would have happened again. I'm gonna pull up his story. Yeah, let me pull it up now. Let me pull up his Darnell Morgan. Okay. That's it. Okay. I have to pull back up the story so I can share it. Let me see. You should never want to move a man in your house. Exactly, Samuel. I preach on this all the time. First of all, to all my single moms out there, to all ladies, period, especially you single mothers, it's common sense. I don't know why y'all are not thinking logically, but it's common sense. If a man is comfortable moving in your home with you in 6, 5, 3, I don't care if you got 1 or 2. If a man is comfortable with moving in your home and he is not the father of your children, he's comfortable with moving in with you and your kids, to me, that's a bad sign. That's a really bad sign, because no man should want to feel comfortable enough to move into another woman's crib, especially if she has kids. Now, it'd be different if y'all done been together for a while. Your kids know him. Your kids don't feel uncomfortable with him. Your kids don't act funny when he's around. Your kids' behavior aren't changing. Then that's a different story. But if a man has only known you for like a month or 2, a couple of months, and he's already comfortable with moving in your house, he don't have a problem moving in your home. That would worry me, ladies. That would really worry me, because a man shouldn't. Most men, if anything, they would be trying to avoid, even putting themselves in a situation where they even got to move in with a woman and all of her children. Anytime you get a man that's comfortable to move in with you and your children, that's the biggest red flag ever. Track says, I have a friend who mom worked overnight. Mom's boyfriend watched her and her sister. He got on my friend and left money for her to hush up. As adults, my friends like girls, guys are mostly money. I mean, it's really, really a shame. What's up, D boys? I don't think women are that simple when it comes to me. They are guard on. I can't even. It's crazy, right, D boys? But yeah, the things that some of us as women that we need to be cautious of, we're not cautious of. And the things that we should, and the things we shouldn't really be cautious of, that would be the main things we're cautious of. It's just crazy. Somebody also mode looking for nice guys, they can emotionally lure in the idea of having family for favors. That makes it easy for them. Absolutely, freelance. That's another point I want to make. What has happened with a lot of single moms, y'all, and I'm not saying this is the case for all single mothers. If it does not apply, you don't have to reply. Okay? This is the issue with single mothers. What has happened is sometimes single mothers, they feel guilty when they have all of these baby daddies, or not even more than one baby daddy. It could just be more than one baby daddy. And say if the father of a child is pretty much a bum, or he's not a stand-up dude, what happens is some women try so hard to make up for that. They try to look for a substitute daddy. They try to look for a replacement daddy, especially when the father of their child they feel has failed them, or the father of their child is pretty much a no good ass dude. What happens is you have some women, they put themselves in a mode of desperation where they so badly want their child to have that father type of figure in their life. So the first time a man comes along and he shows some type of interest and a little bit of kindness towards the child, she gets her hopes up high, thinking that, okay, now I got a quick child replacement. I got a daddy replacement for my child. A lot of single moms, some of these single moms, not all of them, but some of them will gravitate towards the first man that acts like, and notice I said the word acts like, that acts like he wants to be a replacement daddy. And there's so many single moms that fall for this crap every time. Their guilt makes them want to make up for the man who is the father that's not there. They want a replacement daddy. That's a lot of single mothers' problems. And then some of them, they want so badly to prove to the baby father or the father of their child who's not stepping up. They want to prove, okay, says you're not willing to step up, I can find me an instant microwave daddy to step up and do what you can't do. Now, she will do this not knowing his history, not knowing if he even likes children, not knowing if he's a predator, just the fact that he's willing to play daddy. Some of these single moms, they'll take these dudes up on it. They will take these dudes up on it because they want to prove a point to the biological father that even though you're not stepping up, I'm going to find me somebody else who's willing to. A lot of them do that. That's true, tracks. Kids have a spirit of discernment. Yes. Honest question. Do you feel that a woman with kids who are typically struggling can only settle for these type of guys because a man of high stature won't get them type of thing? Anthony, to a big degree, yes. I would have to say yes. Excuse me. Because it's like anything else. Just from a human perspective, honestly, who wants to deal with a package deal? Who wants to deal with a package deal? What's starting to happen to all the guys out there? The reason why a lot of single moms are falling victim or falling prey to these kind of predators because of, similar to what Anthony said, a lot of them are limited in options. It's not too many guys that are going to step up and deal with a woman who has 4 or 5 baby daddies. And not that I blame them, I can understand. I never wanted to deal with a man who had too many baby mamas. So I get it. You know, when you deal with somebody who has children, it's a package deal, especially when the father or the mother of the children are not in their lives. So it's kind of like if you deal with a woman who has 3, 4 baby daddies, none of them are involved, and you decide to be with this woman, guess what? That weight is going to fall on you. It's going to. There's no way you're going to be in a relationship with this woman, and her children's fathers are not active. You're gonna end up having to step in and step up. It's plain and simple. You know, you living with this woman, you staying with her. You know, she's falling short on money, falling short on finances. Little JoJo needs shoes. I mean, if that's your woman, you care anything for her, you're gonna end up doing more than what you may feel obligated to do. So a lot of people, and if you are a man with any common sense, a lot of men know this, which is why a lot of men stray away from women who have too many children, because they know eventually, I don't care how much a woman starts off and says, I don't need a man in my life. I can take care of me and my kids by myself. I don't need a man. I can be with you and not depend on you. Now, at first, she may initially say that because, again, what woman is going to start off and say, oh, I need a baby daddy to help me pay for childcare, to help me pay for groceries, whatever. She's not going to say that up front because she knows that's going to run a man away. The moment she tells a man, I need a man to do this, do that, blah, 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 she's not going to be honest and say that up front. She's not going to be honest and say, I'm a struggling single mother, I need help. Initially, she's going to make it seem like she has it all together. I work, I got a job, I don't need no man to take care of my kids. Of course, that's the sales pitch she's going to start off with, okay? Because she does not want you to think she's needy. Well, if she has any sense, she's not going to be honest and tell you. But eventually, if you are involved with this woman and y'all are living together, y'all in a relationship, the moment she experiences a hardship because her baby daddies are not stepping in and you become her man and you are her man, guess what? She's going to look for you to step up, because the thing is going to be, we're together. You're my man. We living under the same roof. Why are you not helping out? So eventually, you're not going to be able to get involved with these women without stepping up. You know, it happens, you know. So this is why a lot of women, single moms, become vulnerable to these sexual predators, because these sexual predators are smart enough to know all I got to do is act like I like her kids. All I have to do is act like I'm into her children, and that's going to get me through the door. Let me see. I'm just going back and catching y'all comments, y'all. These women will suffer any type of man. None of them want to struggle alone after they hit the wall. Yeah, I have to agree with Tracks. Some women, when they get themselves in a bad predicament, meaning that they get overloaded with all these responsibilities, they have all of these children, all of these different baby daddies. And this is not to say that single moms can't hold it down, because you got some single moms, they hold it down. They don't even look for no child support. They don't look for no man to come in and play captain save them. You got some women out there that know they messed up and made bad decisions, and they are willing to deal with it on their own. They willing to suffer the consequences. But you got some of these sisters out here, but when I say sisters, I'm not just saying black women. You got some women in general. Once they fall down on their luck, and they put themselves in a position and they got all these different baby daddies and all of these problems, they do not want to deal with the burdens they created by themselves. They want a Mr. Cleanup man. They want a janitor to come along and clean up. And this is the reason why a lot of single moms fall victim to these sexual predators, because these sexual predators know that 9 times out of 10, this single mom, she's desperate, she's struggling. All I got to do is act like I'm the nice guy. All I got to do is act like I care about her children, and she's going to let me in. Let me see. That's very true. That's why single mothers are easy pickers for any dude who plays the role, which is sad. Yep, it's very true. Why would people feel sorry for single moms? I don't understand. Nope, you can't sympathize with all of them. It's different if she was married and she became a single mom and they divorced. But for those who are just going out there screwing every time Dick and Daryl and not using protection, no, you can't sympathize with them. There are good men out there with no kids doing right, but it's both sides where one has to be careful. Don't be a male son, but don't be a thirsty mother either. Yeah, and it goes both ways. We both have to be responsible, men and women. But women, we have to be responsible even more because the burden lays on us. You know, a man has the option the man has the option to decide if he wants to be there or not. Okay, a woman, we don't have the option to decide to be a mother. We have to be one, whether we want to be or not. You know, so it goes both ways. Why don't she could use good? I'm in the corner, keep us separate, and they keep a job. Yeah, eventually, yeah, DT, she's going to look. You're not going to move in with a single mother and think you're not going to help out. Is not going to happen, and that is why you got to think twice. And honestly, I respect a man that will say, guess what? I don't want to deal with a woman who has children. Then for a man to move in with a woman, no, just so he could use her, just to have a place to stay, just so he could get free meals. I don't respect a man who will move in with a woman just so he can use her. Okay. I respect a man that says, you know what? I'm not that desperate. I'm not that thirsty. I'm not getting involved with no woman who has children because guess what? I know I'm not father material. I know I'm not going to step up. I know I'm not going to be Mr. Cleanup Man. I know I'm not going to, take the role of being father of the year. I can respect that. And any woman who has a problem with the man who says, I don't want a woman who has children, then she's the one who has a problem. Because as a woman, you should be glad that a man is being honest with you and telling you, I don't want to play daddy to your damn children. Versus he lying to you, you move him in your house, you move him around your babies. He's abusing your kids because he really don't like kids. He's using you, hurting your children behind closed doors. I mean, as women, we don't need to get in our feelings if a man says, I don't want to be stepdaddy. I don't want to step up to another man's problems. Thank the brother and appreciate him for his honesty. At least he's not lying to you and using you, because a lot that's the reason why a lot of women have put themselves in bad predicaments. Because some of these predators have lied to them and manipulated them and pretended to play the role that they were willing to be the stepdaddy. But what happens is, ladies and gentlemen, when you try to be slick and you think you can use somebody and not have to do anything in return, it comes back to bite you. For instance, I knew this particular gentleman, okay? He was dealing with a very close friend of mine. And he knew that my friend already had children before he got involved with her. Okay. He knew that, and what happened was he was staying in a shelter at the time. He was staying in one of those shelters for men who, like a homeless shelter, for men who were struggling to try to get on their feet. So basically, he met my friend who was staying in low income housing. He met her, got close to her, got cool with her, and got close to her two boys. And he played on that because he knew my friend was a single mother, right? And and I'm losing my train of thought. And so he basically he moved in, moved in with her, and she didn't know him well. And like most, like some women, because not all single mothers, but some women who are single mothers, they want so badly to make up for the mistakes they made by giving their children a father. Even if it means a guy that's pretending he's willing to step up and put on the role of being a dad. So she took a chance and she allowed him to move in her home, and he got a job, and at this point when he started working, she figured, okay, now we're both in a good place. Now we can start building and doing things together and things of that nature. And this guy just really started treating her children all kind of way behind closed doors. Um, every time she left the kids alone with him, he wasn't like beating them up and anything, but he was really mean to them. He would make them stay in the room all day till she got home from work. Because you could tell the man he really didn't want to be bothered. He really was not feeling her children like that. He was only playing a role to get in good with her so he could have somewhere to stay. And it's a lot of men out there who do crap like that. They are willing to put themselves in simp situations by moving in with these single mothers, thinking that all they got to do is play like they like the kids and give her some wood here and there or whatever. He thinking he could continue to get over, but eventually you can't stay with a single mom without her looking for your help. It could be something as simple as on your day off. She got to work. You're home. She needs somebody to keep the kids. She's not going to ask her girlfriends to keep her kids, not when you're supposed to be her man. She's going to look for you to do it. It's going to happen. And you can just tell over time, he became more and more abusive towards her children because she was forcing him to be something that he wasn't. She was trying to make him be a stepdaddy to her kids when he did not want to be a stepdaddy. He did not want to step up like that. So a lot of us as women, you have to do your research. You have to really sit down and have a conversation with these men because some of these men ain't feeling your children like that. They're not feeling your kids. They were just being nice to you so they can have somewhere to stay or can use you for whatever purpose they need you for. And some of you women are so desperate and can't read in between the lines to when a man is using you. You would take a chance and move him in your home with you and your children. And then over time, he's mistreating you, mistreating your kids, because the truth of the matter is he didn't want you or your kids like that. You was just an easy candidate for him to use until he got on his feet. um Let me go back to some of these questions. Okay, no problem, freelance. I appreciate you. Yeah, Katrina, and I mean, they will never learn. A lot of them are not going to learn. A lot of us as women, we are not going to learn. The more children we have, the more responsibilities, the more burdens we place on ourselves. A lot of them, it's not registering, and it just never will. Art says, how can a woman with a checkered background and several kids prepare themselves for a good brother and live well? Absolutely. Um, it's a rough position for a woman to be in, art. Unfortunately, when a woman has put herself in a position of where she has all of these children and all of these baby daddies, but yet she still has to have high standards. I know it sounds kind of contradictory. I know it's a contradiction. Like, how the hell is she going to be picky about wanting a special man and she done had all of these kids and all these baby daddies? And I get it. I understand it. I understand you. But at the same token, she has kids. She cannot just let no random dude just pop in and out of her children's life because it's her child's safety and their well-being. So I mean, if you got some guys out there that don't mind taking on another man's projects. You got some men that don't mind taking care of another man's children. And if he's willing to be one, I mean, that's between him or her. But at the same token, she better do her research on him because why is he willing to be a stand-up daddy to your 5, 4 children and he's only known you for a couple of months? That speaks volumes. So yeah, I feel where you're coming from, Art. Uh Anthony wants to know, what are the benefits to dating a single mother or dad? Just to answer your question, there are some benefits and there are some disadvantages at the same time. As far as benefits, if you're dealing with a man or a woman who has children, the benefits that I can see in it is that they are used to taking care of other people other than themselves. And I'm just hypothetically speaking, this is not to shine light on single mothers or single fathers. I'm just telling you the benefits, because there's a good side and there's a downside. So I'm just answering your question. The benefits are single parents are used to taking care of other people other than themselves. So meaning that if you deal with a woman, some women are very nurturing and very supportive because they're used to having to take care of other people all of the time. In some cases, some single women or some single people are selfish. Sometimes it's kind of hard to get a single person to give in versus a person with children, because single people are used to doing for themselves, used to taking care of themselves, used to looking out for themselves. So that is the drawback sometimes when you're dealing with a single person, because a person who has no children, they're kind of set in their ways. They're kind of set to doing the things the way they want to do it, because when you've been single a long time, you're used to playing by your own rules. You're used to coming and going as you please. You're not used to having that structure. You're not used to having other things in your life that's constantly making you change. As a parent, you're used to changes because you have children that are constantly changing. You're constantly changing as a parent, and children do make some people mature faster compared to single people. Now, I'm not saying this to shed light. People are still going to feel the way they want to feel. But again, that is the advantage of dealing with somebody who has children. Some people do mature. Not all of them now. Some of them can have 8 children and still immature as hell. So in some cases, that is the advantage. You meet a woman who has had a child. She's used to taking care of somebody, so she'll be very patient with you as her companion. She'll be very nurturing to you. As a single woman who's never had to really take care of anybody, you may have to go through a lot more to get certain things out of her. So it all depends. But at the same token, again, this is somebody else's responsibility that you're going to be obligated for, and you have to be honest with yourself if you're willing to really deal with that. um yeah, and again, Du Bois, I don't think anybody should put themselves in a predicament to be obligated. But you do have some men who don't mind, because believe it or not, a lot of single women are disturbed by that. It's a lot of single women that have a hard time meeting decent guys, because a lot of some decent guys, they want to be substitute daddies. You have some men that will pass over single women to go be with a woman who has children. So believe it or not, D boys, it's some women out there who's feeling the funk. They cannot get a man to be interested in them, even though she's independent, got her own job, don't have no children. He'd rather go deal with this woman over here who has all of these kids and all of these baby daddies. So some of the time, it's these men that are out here that are making a choice to be with these kind of women. So some men don't mind helping a woman pick up a load and help her fix all the mistakes she's made. Some men don't mind doing that. Like, you got some women, they don't mind being with a man who has 8, 9 baby dad mamas. So some people do not mind. Some people really don't mind. I know some people who don't have no children and got married to somebody who got kids. I mean, really, people never people always go after the opposite of what they should be with. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. I've met guys, nice looking guys, got their stuff together, and they rather get with a woman that got a lot of baggage. They don't want a woman that's independent, because they think it's because she's too independent. She thinks she this and that because she got college degrees. Some men, they don't want a woman that's too independent. They rather get a woman that got a bunch of baggage because it makes them feel If it strokes their ego to know that another woman needs them. They'd rather have a needy ass woman than a woman that's independent. I'm telling you, you got some people that think like that. It makes no sense, but you got some people that think like that. I'm just saying, don't shoot the messenger. What's up, Gigi? How you doing, love? I may send you a link tonight, Gigi. I'm going live tonight at 9 o'clock. So if I throw you a link, you'll know why. Okay, if you have time, if you can make it. Yeah, if they did it to them, and that's the thing, dangerous television. That's the thing. I tell people all the time: watch how people do their baby mamas. Watch how people do their baby daddies. If they dogging their baby mamas, they dogging their baby daddies. You have a child from them. What the hell you think you gonna go through? It's common sense. You see a woman taking her baby daddy through hell and back. You think you give her a child, she not gonna take you through hell and back? Or you a woman, you see this man, he's not responsible for his kids. He doesn't want to help his baby mamas out. You have a child from him. What you think you gonna go through? I mean, come on. It is what it is. I got a woman with kids put out easier with her. Well, you know what, Trax Wanson? You stay politically correct. You are right. I can't argue with you on that. You made a very significant point. Trax Wanson says that's because women with kids, they will put the cookies out quicker. They will. They absolutely will. And the crazy part is you would think after being left so many times, after putting out the cookie, that they would learn and avoid putting themselves in that situation. They will sleep with the same dude. They will turn around and sleep with another dude and do the same thing. And it becomes a cycle. You are absolutely right. You do have some single mothers. You know why? Because they feel like that is all they have to offer. That is all they have to offer. They feel like they already feel like just the fact that they have baggage, there's not too many brothers that's going to be checking for them. So the moment they do get a man's attention, they're going to put out because they feel like they got to bring something to the table other than just a bunch of damn children. So that's very true. Single women will put out, single mothers will put it out. They would give it up quicker. And I think that's the most dumbest thing a single mother could do. If you're already struggling with the kids you have and you're really not getting no help, you're really not getting no support, it's not wise to put yourself in a position to, you know, go to bed with men so easily. And then on top of that, you don't use any protection. I think that is the most dumbest thing a woman could do. Why keep adding more burdens to your life when you're struggling just trying to carry the load you got? It just makes no sense to me. But a lot of them do that. They strings in the military. Both can be negative, but the insecurity to work on something. Yeah, exactly, Epic 7. That's why I said you have some men, they don't mind playing stepdaddy. They don't mind moving in with a woman and her 8, 9 children. Because guess what? 9 times out of 10, if he's moving in with her that easily, he lacks low self-esteem or he don't have nothing to lose either. Because a man that has had to go through years of working his ass off to be successful, to to grow and to position himself to be in a good position, that man is going to think twice before he moves in with a woman who has all that baggage. But a dude that ain't got nothing going for himself, or if a dude he needs his ego stroke, because you have some men who love to feel needed. They don't mind taking care of somebody else's 8 or 9 children. It makes them feel like king of the jungle. It don't make no sense to me, but you have some men that are like that. You have some men, it makes them feel important. And in the long run, as time goes on, they end up hating themselves when they done been in a relationship so long and see how much taking on another man's responsibility has burdened their finances, has burdened them mentally and emotionally. They end up hating themselves in the long run for it, because they start looking back and reflecting like, you know what, I never should have got involved with this chick. I never should have dealt with this chick knowing she got all of these kids. Look at my life. Now my life is tied down. Now my life is at a standstill. So you got to be very careful. And this is why I said, single mothers are definitely the most prone candidates to getting caught up by these predators, because believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, Child molestation is on the rise in the Black community. Do not let it fool you. It's just molestation is not something that's just happening in the white community. We have a high rise of sexual predators, registered sexual offenders, chesters, the child molesters. The Black community is overly populated with all of these goddamn sexual registered offenders. We have a very significant problem, y'all, in the Black community. All of these freaking molesters and sexual predators. And a lot of it comes from the fact that a lot of these men have been molested themselves and didn't get any psychological help or didn't get any spiritual counseling. Some of these men have been molested themselves as children. If they weren't molested, a lot of them who've been in prison, if they've been in and out of the correctional system, there's also been an issue. Make sure you clean everything out. The last time you didn't wash that thing out. Making sure I plug this thing in. Just one moment. Okay, yeah, I think my I think my battery was going low on my laptop. But yeah, you have to be very cautious. Um we have a lot of sexual molestation in the community, and again, it's different issues. It's different reasons because of that. Like I said, you have had some of these men experience being sexually abused themselves, or if they haven't experienced being sexually abused, a lot of them get that behavior from these prison systems. When you're dealing with somebody who's been incarcerated in and out of the system, and especially if they went into the system at a young age, it definitely could affect their psyche. You have men who've been in the prison system and have been raped, and a lot of that alters their psyche to the point to where they will take that behavior out on any and everyone that's around them, and they will target children. Yeah, and yeah, I can agree with that, Epics. I think a lot of it has to do with a lot of them had issues with not getting enough of nurturing and nourishment for the mothers. So I think that's one particular factor. Let me just give females never look out for their furs. Yeah, you have to just be very careful on metamorphosis, because like I said, everybody that claims to be a parent is not a parent. And you have to be very cautious with that. Because some people look for you to parent their children more than they do. So you have to be very mindful. And that's the same thing for ladies out there. If you're dealing with a man who has children from other women, you have to be very cautious that he's taking care of those kids and he's doing right by them, because if you get involved with him, what's going to happen is he's going to look for you to be the cleanup woman. Because believe it or not, you got some dudes out there, they look for women to stepmama their children more than they father their own damn children. It goes both ways. you know um Katrina goes, says, parents, please teach your daughters to love themselves. Learn self-esteem and low self-esteem and the struggle is real. A baby can't keep no man, and you don't have to have a baby from every man you date. Absolutely, Katrina. And I wish more women understood this in the Black community. I wish they understood this. I wish they knew how imperative it is to make sure they first have self-love, because when you're a woman lacking self-esteem, you will settle for anything. You will settle for anything. You will gravitate towards anybody that gives you any type of and I hate the fact that it's so many of us as Black women. There's so many Black women that are seeking validation on so many levels. It is women that are looking for. It's kind of like women have become addicted to attention, especially women that are lacking with self-esteem. They're so used to being overlooked, so used to not to being used and played and taken advantage of. To the moment that somebody gives them attention, they gravitate towards it. As women, we cannot allow attention to overrule our common sense. Just because a man is being nice to you, being nice to your kids, that does not mean that is your ideal man. That does not mean lay up with him and give him a child. You know, you have to use your wisdom, you have to use your common sense. As women, we have to have more discretion when it comes to trusting all type of men to be around our children. You know, you have to be very careful. You have to be very cautious with that. You know, just because a man is nice, and a lot of them, they so go so far as to they'll buy your kids things. You know, they'll do favors for your children. And another thing is, women, pay attention to the signs of your children, how they act when you are around these men. Are your children distant? Is your daughter distant when your boyfriend comes around? Does she isolate herself? Does she goes to another part of the house? When you try to invite her places with you and your man, does she like never want to go when she used to always want to go? Women need to stop being desperate and pay attention. Pay attention to how your children are acting around these men. Stop being so happy to have a man in your life, a man in your face, that you're willing to overlook all of the things that your children could be going through. It happened here a couple of years back. There was a young lady um, who ended up dying at the expense of her mother's negligence and desperation. Her mother, and this is a true story, was a correctional officer. And basically, she was messing around with this inmate here in Savannah, Georgia, in Chatham County Jail. She was messing with this inmate by the name of Bobby Buckner. And basically, the I guess that the jail administrator found out about her inappropriate um relationship with this inmate, because you know, whenever you work in law enforcement, it is a no, no, no to get involved with an inmate. And the moment you do, you lose everything you don't work hard for. And that's what happened. She got in close with this inmate, lost her job. He ended up being released from the jail, and she moved him in her home with her her teenage daughter, and I think she had a son, I'm not sure. And long story short, her daughter came up missing. And she came up missing for weeks. They couldn't find her, and they found her body floating in the river. And to this day, they was not able to really pinpoint his involvement, but they knew he had a major involvement. But the problem was they could not pinpoint it, because this man had a history of touching other people's children. He had an issue of sexual assault. This man had issues, and this woman, who was a police officer, allowed the sexual predator to move into her home. And the police, you know, they knew he did it, but the problem was they could not prove it. So they ended up arresting him for something. but it was not the main thing he should have got arrested for. And he ended up only doing like, I think maybe 7, 8 years, and he's released. He's back out. You know, he's back out here living his life. And this young woman lost her life all because her mother was desperate and wanted so badly to have a man in her life. You know, these men, they don't even be wanting these women. They be wanting these women children. You, as women, you got to pay attention to the signs. Is he always looking at young women? Is he always checking out young women? I mean, is he doing things inappropriate? Like when your kids come around, he's always sitting your little daughter on his lap. I mean, when he sits her on his lap, where is he sitting on her? Where is he sitting her on his lap? Is he sitting her like on the edge of the knee? Or is he sitting her in front of his print? Is he holding her all the time? I mean, goddamn, pay attention, ladies. Stop being so desperate that you overlooking how these men are behaving around your children. How your children are behaving around these men. Like Katrina say, pay attention to the body language, common sense. Women are more part of me wanting me this. Yep. I think they should stop me. I believe it, even if they don't. Yeah, absolutely metamorphics. And because they are so desperate and looking for somebody to take care of their children, they end up getting more than what the hell they bargained for. Yeah. Church you wanted the man. I like what I said. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you do, Gigi. You have to talk to your children. You got some. You'll be surprised how many women got children and they don't know them. They don't know their own kids. They don't know when their own children are upset. They don't know when their own children are uncomfortable. I could look at my child. I don't care if she's way across the room. I could tell when she's feeling uncomfortable. I could tell when something's upsetting her. I pay attention to stuff like that. Yeah, Katrina, I'm definitely with you. But yeah, as mothers, we have to talk to our daughters. We have to talk to our children. What's up, Lady Day? I appreciate you for coming in. Yeah, single mothers are a pedophile's dream. You never lied. That should have been the title of my statement. You're right. These predators, they love single moms. They love them. They love to get in close with them. They love to give attention because they know all they got to do is keep their eyes on the prize, keep feeding her and feeding her and feeding her lies. Eventually, she's going to feel comfortable and she's going to allow him to have his way. It happens all too often. Um, yeah, and you know what, metamorphosis. But if you think about it, the black community as a whole is overly sexualized. Because think about it, why we have so many of these sexual predators? Why are so many black men becoming child molesters? I ain't trying to be funny. Remember back in the day, you never heard too many black men being sexual predators. You never heard about that too much. Remember, at one point in time, we only heard about sexual predators with other cultures. We never heard about it as much as we do now. It is so many black men that are sexual predators. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to do something for y'all since I got all y'all on here. I'm going to share a screen with y'all to all the sexual predators in my area, because I'm going to show y'all how many of our brothers got an issue with being overly sexualized. It's so many sexually demonic forces. I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to let you see, metamorphics, that it's not just the sisters that got this issue. I'm going to show you that some of these brothers got it. My registered sex offender list here in Chatham County. So just see how many of these black men with their overly demonic sexual appetite. Pull it up because I really want everybody to understand that this is really a major problem. And but you know, and the black community, we are getting the black community as a whole to me is just overly sexualized. You got these young girls who are sleeping with these grown men who don't even have to molest them. You got these young girls that are willing to sleep with grown men. When I was 13, 14 years old, I ran away from grown men. I didn't even feel comfortable being in the company of grown men. But some of these young ladies are so grown and so overly sexual, they'll sit in the company of a grown man and not feel uncomfortable. So I think y'all, in my opinion, everyone, I think the black community as a whole is overly sexualized. I really do. Um, and it does start from home. It does. I do agree with that. Meta. Chatham County, 24 hours. Yeah, a lot of that behavior is learned behavior, Meta, and it does start from home. You know, when you see your children being overly sexual, you see your son playing with himself too much, you see your daughter playing with herself too much. This is things we have to pay attention to as parents. Your children, you know, we got all these demonic forces, these spiritually demonic forces. And sometimes perversion, perversion is a generational curse, y'all. You have to look at your family tree and see if there's any history of inappropriate sexual behavior. If there's an uncle, you had any history with uncles, grandparents, um, you know, anything in the, you got to check your family tree and look into any type of history of sexual molestation. It is definitely a demonic curse. You got to pay it, you got to look at stuff like that. That's why you can't let your sons be around all kind of men in your family. If that uncle is a molester, or hell, your own brother is a molester, you have any of those things in your family, you don't need to let your son and your daughter around people like that. Let me see. Yeah, I'm putting up the registered sex offender list, y'all, in my area. So y'all can see how bad sexual molestation is in the black community. We have it bad, y'all. Mocha, and they see it right in front of them, but it ain't all about them Benjamins. Yeah, exactly, Meta. I mean, people just they really don't take heed to things. So I'm going to show y'all the registered sex offender list. I'm gonna show y'all how bad it is in the black community. Check this out, y'all. Let me pull this up, and then I'm going to share it on the screen, all of us to not be blind to this issue and act like it's not that deep. I want everybody to see how serious sexual molestation is. Okay, so I'm gonna share the screen now. Cause okay, I'm gonna share the screen now. Cause I want y'all to see this. And that's why, ladies, and I want the ladies to see this, single moms to see this. Cause I'm tired of us wanting to be ignorant. I'm tired of us wanting to act like everything is peachy keen and it's not. Okay. I'm waiting till it shows up on y'all end. The list that I'm getting ready to show y'all is a list of all the registered sex offenders in my area, meaning these people only stay a few miles in within my jurisdiction. Yeah, and I agree, Trax Wanson. You know, we have to be careful with how we allow our children to dress. We can't be letting these our little girls wearing tights and leggings, anything that's too revealing. I agree 1,000%. So as y'all see, the list is here. I'm gonna scroll down on the list so y'all can see all of these things, that see these sexual predators that we have going on in our area. I've gotten so caught up in the Me Too movement, the white women movement. Exactly, epics. It got to be. I have to share this information. They don't need to be alone. Exactly. They do not need to be alone unless they can defend themselves. I agree, Lady Dave. Then yep, and if a man is if he's jealous of the attention you get your child, I agree. Now I'm going to show y'all some of these guys, okay? This one is 41. Now there's different levels of rape, y'all. You have what's called a level 1, a level 2, a level 3. Level 3 is the most dangerous, meaning that if you're a level 3, like this gentleman here, he's a level 3, meaning they cannot let him. He definitely has a major section. He has a definitely he's a major threat to society. And then you have your levels 2. They're still a threat, but not as bad as the level 3. And the level 1s are kind of like mediocre sexual offenders, which a molester is a molester. But a level 1 to me is more like a statutory rape, meaning the child was old enough to kind of know what was going on, and he was just messing with a younger female. But he didn't rape her. You get what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. The white boy Daniel Jack. Yeah, I'm gonna scroll down and I'm gonna show y'all. We got our level 2 here. This is a level 3, and he's 72 years old, y'all. And a lot of the offenses they committed is from years ago. He committed his offense in 1990 in Ohio, and they still got him as a registered sex offender. Because once a sexual offender, always a sex offender. They don't let you off the hook just because it's been 10 years ago. Sexual battery, Jacob Bonaparte, child molestation level 2. We have another Caucasian male here. I mean, look like average guys, he's somebody I would picture working at one of those damn computer places where they repair your damn iPhone and your iPad tablet. If you was to see him in person, you wouldn't even know he's a molester. You get what I'm saying? And we got these old guys here. Another black guy here. I mean, got a lot of sickos, I'm telling y'all. Let me see. When they get on the list, they can't get off. Yeah, no, Lady Day. Once you're a child molester, you're always one. There is no escape. For the rest of your life, you will have to register. And it's so strict, y'all. The state is very strict with them. Allowed to live anywhere near schools, any child care centers. Once you become a registered sex offender, your life is a living hell because there's so many things you cannot do. You are so limited, you are so restricted, and what's the odds of finding a place to stay where there's no children? Because kids are everywhere. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, these are all the pervs. Now, here it is, this guy here. He's not even a bad looking guy. But look, he's a straight, he has cruelty to children, first degree. Now he's a low level, which means I'm gonna tell you what cruelty to children is. Basically, this guy here is not a molester, but this is the problem. Cruelty to children is when you commit a very when you commit a misdemeanor or a felony act in front of a child. Like, say if you beating up on the mama, or let's say if they catch you raping the mama or something like that, you could be charged with cruelty to children. So he didn't actually touch a child, but the problem is he committed an offense in front of a child, and that's just as bad. So he had to register. So this is what I'm saying. And he looks kind of young. I'm trying to get out of here and go back to the list. Okay, there it goes. Now, guys and ladies, remember the story that I told y'all about? The gentleman. I don't know why the hell I'm saying gentleman. Let me go back. Let me go back. The guy that I told you about, who they knew killed the young lady whose mother he was dating. I was an officer. This is him here. His name is Bobby Buckner. This is him. This is the one who he was dating the other police. He was dating, he was messing with a female police officer in the jail. She lost her job. She lost her job. And they really couldn't pinpoint it. With the young girl's death. So they really couldn't charge him for it. He's still a lifetime it again, so that's a great thing. So I'm glad he's not back out on the streets. And as you see, they give you the address, so you know where they stay. Good thing. That way, if you and your child wants to move in a certain area, all you do is you put in your area code, so you can know how many molesters are in your area. I'm trying to scroll it down some so y'all can see. Um, yeah, he's incarcerated now, so yeah, and you can tell he's aged significantly since all of those charges. Now I don't know why my computer is moving so slow. Okay, let me see. I don't know why it's tripping. Yeah, so I'm gonna just go ahead and stop sharing because I don't know why it's dragging like that. Yeah, but y'all basically y'all get my drift. Um, it's a lot of black males in a black community that got a problem with being overly perverted. All of this sexual, all of this molestation and this sexual predator behavior, it is not a good look. It's not a good look. We have a lot of black men in the community that have fallen prey to this problem. And it's a sickness, it's an illness. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, I really don't think you can cure a molester. I don't think you can cure them. I really don't. The only thing you can do with a molester is keep them out of sight of the community as long as you can. Because I really don't think you can cure them. Because there's going to always be children around. There's always going to be somebody. I just think that's an urge that they'll never really be able to calm. They could be reformed or rehabilitated. I really don't think they can. But my computer and everything is really acting up, so I know it's about time for me to log off because I'm having too much trouble lately. That's why I did this content today, ladies and gentlemen. Especially for a lot of these single mothers out here, they have to understand that, you can't be too welcoming with these men that are so nice to you and your children. You can't be too gullible. You can't be simple minded, because you're taking a chance, because there's a lot of predators in the community. They are preying on these single mothers out here. And if you, as a single mom, if you're desperate, you thirsty, you trying hard to get a replacement daddy in your life, to be a part of your kid's life because you want to make up for the mistakes you made, just keep in mind you're taking a chance doing that. Do your